Welcome to all you astrology lovers. Welcome to, this is me, Veerle, and giving another video or making another video about the eclipses, the eclipse on the 6th of January, which will be in Capricorn, the new moon. And I also will be talking about the full moon in the opposite sign of Cancer around and about the 21st, 22nd of December. What is this all about? Well, it's very important energy because it's about key areas of our life. It's about our emotional stability and it's about our structures that we all need to, to be the best version of ourselves, so to speak. And this whole period, so starting this week as I record this, which is on the 17th of December and onwards, for actually the whole month of January, we will be sitting in this energy. And I'll explain this energy first in general, then break it down for all the signs. But mind you that I've made for already the January horoscopes, and I mentioned there much more in depth for every single sign the eclipse. What is this? What is it all about, or the eclipses? Now, let's break it down. So the first week now that we are, before Christmas, I know not everyone celebrates Christmas, but it's easy to explain here that the week between now and the full moon in Cancer, which is a full moon in Cancer, is all about family. It's all about emotional well-being, so to speak. And even when you don't have any family, even when things in your family went very, very wrong, or things in your family happened that was very, very difficult. I can remember a Christmas that was horrible, because my dad passed away a long time ago, but it was at the very end of December, and then the Christmas was there. So I know that a lot of people, and my heart goes out for those people. If you're one of them, keep on going and try to not feel not give in to the pressure of the commercials and all of that. Do what you need to do and do what you feel like doing. If you don't want to celebrate Christmas, then don't. If you just want to have a cup of warm hot chocolate or glue wine or whatever, just do that. That is the full moon already in Cancer. That is showing that energy of emotional support and emotional well-being is for every single person different. Everyone has a unique position of their moon. And the moon is what we need. But now this moon in Cancer shows that it's about how can I nurture myself? And how can I make sure that by just looking at the structures that I have in my life and by adjusting them, because this is what it's all about, how can I get the best version of me? And as easy as possible. So these full moons, new moons that are upcoming are all about structures, are all about, and certainly the eclipse on the 6th of January is all about deconstructing old structures. I'm saying it in the monthly horoscopes as well. But it's really like that. It's about letting go of an old structure that is absolutely, it's like in a house. It's about your foundations. Some foundations are not working anymore. You have to deconstruct it before you can build something new again. And the thing is, to deconstruct very important structures is not an easy thing to do. But we all have time for that. So, and this full moon is a preparation because it's the moon in Cancer and already the sun in Capricorn. So we're all going to see on what areas of our lives that we need to restructure, that we need to deconstruct. And that takes time. And the sooner we start with it, the better. So that's why I always do these videos a bit before, so we can adjust already and start getting used to the energy. So this energy in general, where is it that you need to deconstruct, and where is it that you need, maybe it's in a part of your life that it's not that important. Maybe it falls in a house of your life that is not that key area of your life. But for others, it will be, like you can imagine that for a Capricorn who has planets around 15 degrees of Capricorn, which is those of you who have a birthday around the 6th of January, of course, they're going to have a more important message there of deconstructing old structures. So we'll get into that. Now, for the week of now, 17th of December up until the full moon in Cancer, it's a pretty good week. It's pretty good aspect, although the full moon opposes Saturn. So it means, yeah, it's about structures. Saturn is in Capricorn. It's about what can you do to feel good about yourself, and what are the structures that are not working anymore that you already see. So because it's a full moon is always about things coming clear. So we will already see around the 22nd of December what becomes very clear that we need to deconstruct. And it's emotional. It's because of our emotional needs. Maybe we haven't done anything yet, and we'll start to do that, which is good. But on another level, it's not the most bad full moon. There are other aspects going on, very romantic aspects like Venus trining Neptune, which is very spiritual, which is very empathic, and also the full moon sextiles Uranus, so the moon sextiles Uranus. So there's good things about it, but still it's a very down to earth kind of energy that we're heading towards with that Capricorn. I mean, I don't know why, but isn't that a Capricorn kind of style that I'm wearing here? I mean, I didn't do this on purpose, but that's the Capricorn way of trying to get that message out there. And Capricorn is about competence. It's about quality. It's about, and everyone has an opportunity now to restructure their structures in a way more solid way. So let's get down to the signs. Oh yes, for those of you who are astrology lovers, I'll put a link below about the Saros family. For those of you who are interested, the eclipses that are happening in January are about the Saros family South 2, which has to do with you being connected to a broader group. So keep that in mind as well, that is also a message. That message, by the way, is from Bernadette Brady. She has a book and she's a specialist in eclipses and in all of that. But I'll put a link below if you're interested in that. Now, let's talk about each different sign. So if we start with Aries, of course, Aries is one of those signs that is highly in the picture. Because this full moon and this new moon on the 6th and the full moon now on the 22nd of December, they are in key areas of your life because you are a cardinal sign, and these moons and all of that is happening in cardinal signs. So there is something about you Aries people, and a lot of you will already know, especially around the end of this week, 22nd, 21st of December, you will feel that something emotionally from the deepest of your feelings comes up, and that has to do with you versus your work, your family versus structures in your work that is not going good, and you feel it. You have that gut feeling. I mean, Aries is a very intuitive sign. It's fire, and it's very amicable. Is that the word? I don't know really. No, I mean it's very almost like an animalistic. So it feels that things are going on instinctively. That was the word that I'm looking for. So there's something coming up that becomes very clear for you, and it's not a bad thing. It's not a bad thing because full moons are generally about what is this all about? I see things clear, and mostly that's positive. Of course, depending on your own personal horoscope. But anyways, and something about your family that will bring up energy for you, that you see that you have to deconstruct something that has to do with your work, that has to do with your social standing, that has to do with your purpose here in life, that you have to adjust. So for some of you, it might mean I'm doing too much at home, I'm not working enough, I need to work more. And for others, depending on your situation, it will mean I work too much. It's all work, and I'm not content. So I need to deconstruct this before I can restruct it. reconstruct it, and you will be able to do so. You've got the whole month of January to implement that. So it's quite a heavy one, but it's one that if you do it right and if you put some extra effort into it, you will really benefit from it even years after that, months after that, and even years after that. So for Aries people, a lot needs to be changed and to be let go. If there is something that you hold on to, clinging on to, and you think you're trapped, you're not. You can deconstruct it, but take your time and you'll be fine. Now for Taurus people, this is happening in their 3rd house and 9th house. So Taurus, this is not as important as I just said about the Aries people. I mean, not as important that it's going to affect key areas of your life. No, it more has to do with having actually a full moon in your 3rd house is great. It could mean that you're going to give a speech or something, or you're in the center of your siblings if you have them, or you're in the center, or all people are going to join you in your house from the neighborhood. You know, that's a bit of the full moon there that you could expect. So it's a lot about communication. It's maybe you're going to travel. A lot of Taurians will be traveling around the world. But the thing is, it's about your mind. This is about, so something needs to be deconstructed about your vision upon life, which is actually quite a deep one. And, you know, Taurians are people that don't want to change that easily. I mean, of course, it depends on your whole horoscope, but Taurus is known as to be fixed and as to be firmly with the feet on the ground and a bit stubborn even, you know, like a bull. And but now the universe, or God if you like, is asking of you to have a bit of a broader perspective. It could mean that but there's an old perspective of yours that you're gonna quit it and you're gonna build up a new one, because you find something in your area of the people around you or the people that you work with on a daily basis. You see that applying your view, it's not working. You know, whatever that has to do with work or not, it doesn't really matter. It has to do with a certain view that you've always believed in, and now it's not working anymore. You know, in a way, this can be quite interesting for you to develop new. So don't be too afraid to be open, first of all, by traveling, by reading books, by being a bit more spiritual, or to open up your mind and listening to people who are. The best thing for you now is people that, so let's say you have all friends and they all have the lives like your lifestyle. Well, try to find some people that don't have your lifestyle, have a bit of a different lifestyle, so that it can broaden your perspective, okay? Very nice energy. Now for the Geminis, this is happening in their 2nd house and in their 8th house. Now having a full moon there in their 2nd house is quite interesting. It can mean that you have an extra raise of income. It can mean that if it's nothing to do with money, it can mean that you're feeling very confident and it's becoming very real now. Maybe you have changed jobs and you realize now that you're earning more money and you're feeling more secure, because that's emotionally secure, which is Cancer. And the deconstruction happens in the 8th house, which means that there could be, on a financial level, something happening with inheritances, something happening with the money that you share with other people. So maybe there is a loan that just stopped, or because it's the eclipse has to do with endings and has to do with past karma. So there could be a loan that you just closed up, or there could be an inheritance and that there was a fight before that and now it closes up. Or something has to do with taxes. But there is like a letting go of being reliant on other people's money, being reliant on other people's values, and being very reliant on what other people think about you. And more towards, you know, especially around the 22nd of December, there's something that you're realizing that you're saying, I'm not doing bad at all. I'm just working, or I'm just doing what I need to do. And guess what? I'm getting very confident about that. So good for you, you Geminis, especially the ones who had it a bit financially, a bit more tough. This is showing that you're doing better, and that you have, and now it's about a full moon, especially at the end of December. It shows, or the 22nd of December, it shows that you've done some stuff already in the past, and now it becomes very clear, maybe a bonus or something like that. Wouldn't that be great? Anyway, the next sign is Cancer. Cancer, of course, this is key month for you. December and January, it's all about something will come clear about what you need. It's the spotlight on you, it's the lights on you, certainly now still up until the end of December. And it's about what you feel good about, what you need in life, and also indirectly your relationships. And there is something about your relationship with someone important, that there needs to be a deconstruction in the attitude, how you relate to that person. Now, a lot of people probably will panic and say, is this gonna end my relationship? Well, in a very small percentage, this can happen when things go very bad, very odd, very difficult. Yes, this could be the letting go of someone that you now feel like, oh my goodness, I've just neglected myself. You know that, but that's only a small percentage. Most of you, it will be like, there needs to be a change in my relationship, and there needs to be a shift in an attitude. And probably that will start because you feel that you need something different, but at the same time, that other person, there is shifting something in their life. So that could be a job, that could be health-wise, that could be anything. But don't expect that your relationship will be going business as usual. If you are open for new structures, very good. This could be an upgrade even of a relationship. But if you're just fighting against what is not going well, then it becomes a struggle, and you don't want that. So focus on you, and be a bit let go and let God when it comes to relationships, and see how it will unfold. For Leos, this is happening in your 12th house and in your 6th house. So it is a bit less important for Leos, but it's energy that has to do with the unconscious. So for you, the full moon will definitely be a possibility to relax, to even for a lot of Leos, and it's not a bad thing at all, but they feel good before the Christmas time, let's say. They can feel good alone. So I would advise you to just do things on yourself and have a nice cup of coffee on a Christmas market or whatever. Enjoy yourself, basically, and reload your batteries. It is a good time for Leos to just slow down a little bit, if you can, of course. And soon in January, you will find that structures of your daily routines, they need to adjust. So the 6th house is a very day-to-day house. It's your daily routines, daily work that you're doing. So maybe it can be as simple as maybe you need to change the way that you do your administration. Maybe you're saying this is not competent. You see with the jacket on, it's not a stylish thing to do, or not stylish, but not efficient. Capricorn wants to do things efficiently. So it's a good time for you to review all that, to review the way that you work, to make it yourself more comfortable after January. So very good time in a practical way for the Leos to do things differently on a daily basis. Maybe also your health. There are some things that need to go. Your habits that are not good. And, in January, mostly people have those kind of resolutions. But for you, it's good. It's good. It's good energy to let go of an old habit that is not working for you anymore. And it can also mean work, you saying goodbye to a certain job that you're not liking anymore, and that you're feeling that, you can't relax because of that. Maybe before Christmas time, you can relax so good that in January, maybe you need to start working again, and you're saying, I don't want this anymore. I've noticed that a lot when I was still working in the corporate world. My goodness me, going back to it, and especially when you're doing a job that you're not liking anymore, this could be the month that you're saying, quit, I work on a new one, and off you go. For the Virgos, this is happening in your 11th house and in your 5th house. So this is also not that much of an important energy, but it's nicely. That could be new developments for you going on. When you have your own job, when you have your own business, this is a good sign with the full moon there in your 11th house. It means Maybe you'll get some extra income. Maybe you will get some extra attention. Maybe you will get more in the spotlight when it comes to social media, when it comes to you spreading a message. And the 11th house is also friends. Maybe there are new things that become very clear about friends. Maybe there was something about a friend that you were asking yourself, what the hell is going on? And now all of a sudden it becomes very clear. And then in the area of life that needs to be deconstructed and reconstructed, this is the 5th house. So it could mean that there is a sort of dying of identity that has to do with children. So it could mean that a child becomes, for instance, more independent, more respectful, more responsible. And that is a new phase that your child gets into. It can also mean that a child, it's 18 years old and they're saying goodbye, they're off to study and they're leaving the house. It could also mean ending a project, and ending a romance could mean it as well. It's a very bad one and it's not a good one. You could end a certain romance and start all over again, with the love for yourself, and then you see where you what you're gonna attract. And so yeah, for the Virgos, very interesting energy indeed. Then next, the Librans. This is happening again, Libra is a cardinal sign. So this full moon is happening in your 10th house of work. So something about work can become very clear. Something about your social status, something about what you are here for in life becomes very clear. You are in the spotlight. The midheaven is a second ascendant in my point of view. So there's something happening that is again more in the spotlight. So maybe you've worked hard to get that promotion and you're getting it, or maybe you've worked hard to establish a new business and now you're seeing, I'm getting somewhere. But there are old structures. It's a very important time. Certainly check out your monthly horoscope if you have time and if you can and if you want in January, because there is a lot of deconstruction going on when it comes to your emotional well-being. So a lot of you will shift their attitude towards their homes, their parents, their family, their roots. So there's things that need to go that has to do with bad habits, or that has to do with bad habits. You could have a relationship that you are way too dependent on parents, or they are too dependent on you. Anything that is, the structure is getting a bit like that, you need to deconstruct it before you can rebuild it. So it can be literally, some of you Librans, just having a new home and just selling the old home or one of your homes. So a lot of deconstruction going on for you on an inner level. If it's not your home, it's on an inner level. All parts of you, they're not working anymore. You need to change on the deepest emotional core of your well-being. So that takes quite a lot of time, but it becomes clear that has to do with your relationship with society, so to speak. What can you bring to society? What are you bringing? Bringing too much, too less, etc. Then the next sign is Scorpio, and this is happening. This full moon is pretty good for Scorpios because it's in their 9th house, and it's also water sign. This Cancerian full moon. And then the eclipse is happening in your 3rd house. So for Scorpios, it's a bit like Taurus, but inversely, it's like something that happens. Maybe you're reading a book, maybe you're seeing a movie, maybe you are traveling, and that shows you something that has to do with the way that you think. Yes, because I think this way, I have to change my communication. I have to change my relationship with my environment. I have to change my relationship with my siblings, for instance. That is 3rd house. Maybe there is a deconstruction going on with old attitudes towards siblings, towards people in your environment. Maybe it can simply mean that you're all deleting your websites. Maybe you have 5 websites, you're deleting them and you're starting to be able to start a new one, that kind of thing. So that can happen for you Scorpios. It's not the most important energy that is going on there, but it's quite interesting for you. So it has to do with something opens up in the mind and you can apply it on a daily basis, or making a short trip and really realizing that the old way that you traveled, you want to do it differently. All that kind of stuff. Next is Sagittarius. Sagittarius, this is happening in your 8th house. So there could be that full moon, it could be a present, of course, yeah, it's the time of the year. But anyway, you could get a very nice present to say, and that is very comforting. It can be material something, but it can also be support. It could also be even an emotional support of a person that is quite intimate and quite special, because the 8th house is all about that. So that is good. Or you can get value of other people, which you really realize, my goodness me, they truly, truly value me, and I'm feeling good about it. On another level, it could mean that there is, I've said it a lot to the Sagittarians, that it is a good time to all the things at home, literally, physically, materially, the things that are not working 100% for you. That maybe you have a car that is really, it's annoying you, or it's just not working as it should. Maybe you have clothes you haven't worn for like 10 years. Put them away, give them away, whatever you want to do. Because the more you give away, you put away, you sell away if you want to, the more space there is for a new construction of your... It seems like a lot of Sagittarians are going towards more quality versus quantity kind of thing. And more long, that's all what Capricorn is about. So possessions that might be a bit more expensive even, but in the long run, you maybe just, let's say clothing. You have some clothes that you've been wearing and that were quite cheap because you didn't have the, the resources. And now you're saying, hey, why not buying one piece and doing with it way longer than just every season I buy new clothes and they're totally deconstructed after one season. You see what I mean? So it's not the most important time for those eclipses for you, Sagittarius, but when you do it right, you can have more a feeling confident in a totally new way. Now I'm going to end this video, but there's a second part that I'm going to do for the other signs. So see you in a minute.